Hey, welcome to the FMC Arena. This is Thursday night. We're going to have with us tonight, we're going to talk about the Great Cyclopian. This is going to be number 11. So we're talking about a comic series that is it's definitely like being currently being worked on. It's pretty far along. And so let me bring on Mr. Tamlovic right quick. Let me find here it is. All right.
Hello, hello.
Welcome to the show. Welcome.
Thank you.
So you definitely this comic book series. Hey, we got John's Long Box and I believe your wife. Hello.
That's right. That is my wife.
Yep.
Hello, Diana.
I have been on Hero Shack before, and you guys are very delightful. I was there. I think what is his name? The guy from Canada.
Rick Piper.
Rick Piper. Yeah, I was still on your show at that point.
He still is. Canadian
yeah.
Shield is a big part of our little life. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Sorry. No, I was not talking
No,
about
not
you,
John. Yeah.
No.
Nice to see you, though.
I met your wife. The hit is not yet. No. Anyway.
Well, this is a rare event because I've never really done an interview or whatever this would be called.
Oh, really?
Without her. Usually she's right there. And
Yeah.
I didn't ask her this time, and I think she's very proud because, I usually won't do these without her.
Take the training wheels off. Huh?
Oh, yeah. It's time. It's only been 10 years. Yeah.
It's only been 10 years. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, I don't bite, so hopefully I won't be too scary. Anyway, so one of the things I wanted to talk to you about is the Great Cyclopian started out as being kind of like an all ages comic, and it looks like this last this last couple have been a lot darker in tone. Is that a decision you made, or is that just where the story took you?
Well, it's had to evolve because really my audience has evolved. My target was kids, and a handful of kids do read it. And I have like some 10-year-olds who, when they see me, they're like, eh. But the majority have been 30 to 40-year-old men, mostly white, but not all white. And I actually know most of them. So I'm very blessed to have a very tight-knit group of friends.
Neat.
That when I put a book out, they back it, and then they talk to me and they tell me, hey, I didn't like panel 3 on page 12, but I did like page 15.
Are they that specific?
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Wow. Well, a lot of the characters in my book are kind of unique because they're all tied to some of these people.
Oh, cool.
Like I was telling you earlier about the Cardinal, there's a character called Captain Ori. He's based on one of my childhood friends, and he knows it. And like when I was using the character in the Great Cyclopian around issue 1, 2, and 3, he was buying the book, and I didn't know it.
Wow.
And all of a sudden, it's like he's like, "Hey, you're using me. I love it." And I'm like, "What do you mean I'm using you?" He's like, "Captain Aura." I'm like, "Oh yeah, hey," And that's just blossomed.
Well, it's like your muse uses like it symbols your world through things from your memory, things that you've absorbed, things that you've seen. And so even if it's original, and there's always going to be like pieces of it that have familiarity to it. It's like it's like when Tucker was assembling his torpedoes, he would use like a airplane or a helicopter engine on, these ones, they use a gearbox from I think Packard. One of them had several of them had gearboxes from Packard or whatever, but the car was was groundbreaking. There was nothing like them, but he was assembling them kind of like Frankenstein for whatever parts he could get a hold of, because the big three had kind of frozen him out of the system. And but those cars are still running,
right?
Because he's such a genius engineer.
Mechanic, right?
Exactly. But like one of my characters actually has a Tucker as his car. Anyway, I love
That's
that
why
car.
you know so much. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, but that's not saying that the cars weren't original and that they didn't have original design and that they didn't have like things that the big three didn't adopt for like decades later.
Hmm.
Like crash zones and things like that, and it all had to do with the fact that he took whatever he had available and then created something new with it.
Yep.
And I think all storytellers, now some of them are more derivative, some that don't have creativity, you're like direct ripoffs. And
Yeah.
I know of a guy whose character is a direct ripoff of Batwoman, the television series of all things. And I'm like, why did you? If you're gonna rip anything off, why did you use
Why that?
something?
Yeah.
Yeah, something so subpar and derivative. Of course, it's because he's subpar and derivative, but I digress. Anyway, issue 10 was great. Thanks for producing and sending it. Hey, got a fan over here. I'm
Thanks
so
for
glad you
buying it.
enjoyed it. Yep, buying it.
Yeah.
So I did see it took a real dark turn. Evidently, the last issue.
So if I'm allowed to speak on it,
Uh-huh.
what we found is there was an entity inside of Cyclopian who
Uh-huh.
was kind of bottlenecking his powers. And we found
Ah.
that out because Queen Sting was injected into his eye through a missile that
Ah.
Forevertron shot at him. That was his intent.
Yeah.
Queen Sting is I won't call her an alien. She's we don't know what she is. She's a
Okay.
bee-like creature.
Mm-hmm.
She tends to go into people's heads, eat out their brains, and use them like robots. And so, yeah, so they shot this queen into Cyclopian's eye, but his
Mm-hmm.
biology is not our biology. His brain is
Right.
not behind his eye. His stomach is. So they she
Oh,
went right into digestive fluids and it created issues.
right.
So it did go dark. At this point in issue 10, I'm trying to think because they're blurring together because I'm working on 11. But Nightmare comes out at the end of 10. And that involves a whole little side story that as a writer, I was disappointed because I couldn't spend 6 issues explaining it. But basically,
Right.
Peter goes into a 20-minute 5-year lapse. So he believes that it's been 5 years. He's had a marriage with a woman that looks like him with one eye. He's
Mm-hmm.
had a child with her, and now it's all over. And so, but he knew it
But
was
this is
coming.
all. But this didn't actually happen. It's all in his head.
Yes, but his wife is real. It's just
Ah.
that she's this bee-like creature, and
Ah.
they're aware of each other. They know
Mm-hmm.
that they're not real, but yet they're living in this thing because they have to get. So the big thing is they're trying to get Peter to vomit her out because that's the only way he can stop from digesting her, and that's the only way she can stop from basically eating whatever life he has in her or
Ah.
in
Right.
him.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Nightmare, the entity, has been there the whole time. He's trying to fight for Peter, but they end up turning on him.
Mm-hmm.
The story is very briefly told to get him out of him, so that to get Nightmare out of him, so we can move it in to the next chapter.
Right.
But
I think it's kind
apparently,
of cool though. It's Nightmare.
yeah,
Yeah.
because he controls the night. He's the mayor
Yeah.
of Cyclopian's nights. When Cyclopian is awake, there's
Right.
no Nightmare. When he falls asleep, the Nightmare rises and defends him from
Well, see
all the
that.
spirits that are trying to attack him.
Well, see that's kind of like my naming conventions. Like I have one of my scarier villains is named Osmosis.
I want to know how you spell that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. I knew it. Yeah. Yeah.
And if he shows powers from somebody, that means that they're dead. And so if he shows if he shows up and he has the powers of a friend of yours, then you know that guy that they're dead. And so
Oh.
it's kind of like based a little bit on Siler from Heroes.
Okay.
But it's a little he's a little slicker than that. But if you see him with your friend's powers or your loved one's powers, then they're no longer with us.
They bit the dust. He took their power.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
all the powers are based on souls. To you, your soul powers your abilities, and so because of that, if he has your abilities, then he'd have to have the soul to power it. So it's
Ouch.
something like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Nice.
yeah. But I think about it. This though is I don't know if this is the same for you, but when I go to create a character, sometimes I start with the name. Sometimes I start with the concept of the character, but eventually it's like there's this moment uh where it's like they snap into focus, one way or the other, and it's like the name fits the character, or the character suddenly the name pops up and it's like, oh, that's the name of it. But it's always like this like focusing in moment where you're not quite sure the shape, you're not quite sure what they're capable of, and then all of a sudden it's like snap, and it's like, where did that even come from?
Yeah.
Do you have moments like that?
Well, for me, I would put it more akin to sculpting with clay. And
Mm-hmm.
my poor wife, like, so she'll come in and I'll have that little ball of clay and I'll say, look, I'm making a horse. And she'll say, all right, I can't wait to read it. A comic.
Right.
She'll come back a couple of days later and I'm like, yeah, it's a motorcycle now. And she's like, I don't see the motorcycle. I'm like, I'm sculpting it. Hang on. Comes back a week
Right.
later and I'm like, okay, here you go. It's a proof. And she's like, it's a boat. And I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, like I did, because the stories, I'll come to her with something. And then by the time she,
Yeah.
I give her something to read, she's like,
Mm-hmm.
what happened? And I'm like, what do you mean what happened? She's like, I thought this was about this and this. I'm like, just read it. And she's like, oh, but
Right.
for me,
Right.
it's kind of like a focus now that you say it, but I always
Mm-hmm.
pictured it more like clay, because sometimes I'll have a whole thing almost done and I go,
Yeah.
put it all back together and try it something
Right.
else. Yeah.
Well, it's like Michelangelo. There's a quote that's uh, basically attributed to him. Maybe it's true, or maybe it's not. But when they asked him, how does he carve this stuff? Like he carved David, that incredible David, and he's like, I just carve away everything that doesn't look like it.
Yeah. Well,
And and so it's like his philosophy was like, it's trapped in there, and I'm just like unearthing it. It's already
well,
existing in the marble or
I
whatever.
find that funny because as someone who has sculpted, I'm like, oh yeah, I could see that. But like,
Yeah.
I can see how someone who hasn't would just look at that and go, what?
Yeah. Right.
Like they would not be able to picture that boulder becoming David. They're just like,
Yeah.
what do you mean you just chip away? None of it looks like him. Yes, you have to
Mm-hmm.
make. Yes, yeah. It's a
Right.
good
Right.
quote.
Right. Right. Hey guys, showing some love. Titans Rise. Hey man. Good to see you.
Captain Aura, right there. That's the guy who's Captain Aura.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the creative process, it's hard not to get romantic about it, or get a little woo woo, a little supernatural about it. But anybody that has ever pulled the sword from the stone, or went fishing in the lake of creativity and pulled out a marlin or something, uh, there's always this feeling that this thing was existing somewhere, and I'm the one that discovered it.
Well, I
And
like to tell people I don't write stories. I wait for them to kind of unfold. Like I'm not
exactly.
writing it. I'm telling you what I'm seeing, but I'm not really
Right.
seeing, of course, a one-eyed creature running around.
Yeah.
But they tend to get that in a way. At least it makes people go, okay, whatever.
Right. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, it's like tuning in a radio signal. The signal is out there, and you're just. Oh, I heard a second of it, and I need to ease it back. Oh, now I can hear it. And
But part of that too is understanding your characters. Like, and I know you'll know what I'm talking about when you've written a character for a while.
Yeah.
You can come up with the weirdest situations and go, Yeah, but Peter's not going to do that.
Right.
Peter is
Right.
approached by 3 women in a bikini. He's going
Yeah.
to blush and try to hide. He's not going to be the
Right.
man. And he's
Right. Right. Right.
knowing
Right.
that is interesting because you can't really write them into those
Yeah.
scenarios without knowing you're doing something that the reader is not going to be able to dig.
Well, I think that's a big problem we have with modern pop culture is that people that don't understand that concept are getting in control of these IPs, and they're making these creative properties what they want it to be rather than
Mhm.
what it has always traditionally been, and they
Yep.
don't see the issue with that. It's like brainwashing somebody's child, uh, you'd be appalled at that because you're like, it's like, but that doesn't belong to you, or that person has their own like, set of characteristics, and they'll just ignore them. They'll just throw them out. Like, the recent Lanterns thing where they made Hal Jordan into this cynical old guy, who does stupid, illogical things. And then they wonder why people who love Hal Jordan are like, "That's not Hal Jordan. I don't know who that is." And they're like, "Well, how do you know? It's just creativity. It doesn't exist." Yes, it does exist.
And you know what kills me is they're so creative enough to screw up good legendary or legacy
Right.
characters,
Right.
but they won't just put it into a new character. Like
No.
I don't care
No.
how crazy you want your writing to be. That's great. Come up with
Right.
your own little nickname and your own little
Yeah.
costumes and let's go. I
Right.
guess that's why I love indies because you'll find some really whacked out characters that you won't like.
Yeah.
But I'm like, hey, you got the chutzpah to stand up and do it. I'm
Right.
with you. Go.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, it's like one of my favorite indie characters is Perfect 10 from Dave
Mhm.
Brink. Okay.
Yep.
And he has imbued her with such an amazing kind of like vulnerability that even though she's 10 times faster, 10 times stronger, and built like a brick house, okay, let's face it.
Yep.
I mean,
Very well drawn, guys. If you
yeah,
haven't seen the
Pal
perfect,
Rodriguez draws her very well. Okay.
yeah.
Uh, but it's like when I read that first book, I didn't realize she was naked almost the whole entire book until I went back and read it. I went back and read it multiple times because I loved it so much. But then one day I realized I was like, she's naked for almost 3/4 of this book, and
Wow.
and but I mean, this beautiful, voluptuous woman with curves, and I didn't notice that. All I noticed was her vulnerability. All I noticed was her fear. All I noticed was her self-loathing when she figured out that she was the one that killed these people, and that she probably deserved her fate. Or and that's all I noticed. I didn't notice that this beautiful, voluptuous female with these curves was naked about 3/4 of the book. And I told him, I was like, "That's the greatest compliment I can give to anybody."
Yep.
As well as Powell draws her, and I didn't even realize it. Um, but that's what you're looking for. You're looking for people to get so invested in your character
Yep.
that they will take the trip. They will follow you
Yep.
anywhere with it.
They escape.
Exactly. Verisimilitude. Right. 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 I was wondering, as creators, when you're in character development, how much of yourself, how much of your own experiences, impact the development of a character?
Absolutely none. Not a
None.
single drop. None. Yeah. No. You know what it
Well.
is though?
Mhm.
It's weird because some of my villains,
Yeah.
they'll never see the light of day because they're so dark. And like, I
Right.
can see it like when I pitch it to my wife, who is my editor,
Yeah.
and her eyes turn that. Uh,
Mm,
but it's not anything I would do, but it's something I can
yeah.
conceive. And I'm like, oh, what if I had a guy who did X, Y, and Z? And she goes,
Right.
what? Do you want everybody to like to just not buy your book? And I'm like, but he's so evil, Okay.
Well,
Um,
but I took on a housemate, and I told him like up front that I'm a writer, And so, because he's seen my library back here, and he's like, what are you? He's like, you got a lot of books. I was like, well, I'm a writer, you know. And he was talking about, you know, I said something that creeped him out a little bit. He's like, are you thinking about ways of killing me? And I was like, I'm a writer. I think of ways of killing everybody. And
Yeah.
it's like, it's nothing personal. I'm not going to do it, but I think of it, you know? I mean, it's like somebody said one time, if you're a writer of creative writer, then the FBI is going to want to know when they see your search history. They're going to want to know what the heck are you up to?
Well, you know, with Diana, she's had to learn because when we first got together, I look at everybody. I always look at everybody. Yep. And it was really weird because, you know, I'm a guy and I'm married and I'm looking around. Right. And now we go fast forward to 15 years and we're at like a convention just a few years ago, 20 years. I don't know. It was about 5 years ago. We were at a convention and there's this girl and she's on one of those fake horses that does the whole rodeo thing. And I'm staring at her and my wife is looking at me and I look at her and go, look at her calves and her ankles. They're incredible. Now this girl is like over the thing, ass in the air. Yeah. And I'm freaking out about her lower leg and her ankle. Yes, yeah, well, or bull, okay. Mechanical bull.
Oh, mechanical bull, yeah, okay.
But I was so into her calf and ankle, and not because it was sexy, but because it just looks so defined. I was like, that is cool. She's like, okay, yeah.
Oh no, mechanical bull. Well, you know, I get that from as a writer, where I'll listen to somebody talk and I'll almost stalk them because I'm so fascinated by some mannerisms or the way they say things, you know, and we're all like, we are absorbers of humanity. We're all absorbers, like you know, as a comic book like writer, I think visually in a lot of ways. And so I'll send my my whoever's drawing my comic, I'll send them like visual stuff, you know, like I'll see somebody kind of randomly on the street and I'll take their picture because that's one of my characters. I know that's what my character looks like. And it's almost freakish to see them out in society. And so I'll be taking a picture of some stranger and they're kind of like, well, why are you looking at? Why are you taking a picture of me? And I'll include that with my stuff, and that's what my character will look like. But I'll just be clicking through a movie or looking at you know, clicking through a website or something, and I'll see somebody randomly in a picture in the background or something, and it's like I know that's click, you know, that belongs here, and it's like it's almost like mosaic, you know. Like you're seeing her thigh and her ankle, and you're like, that belongs to this character, you know. That's part of this mosaic.
It's true, but as it was just so bizarre because I still remember the calf ankle thing, and it was so defined. It's like, and I don't know if I can ever actually draw it, but but I certainly would love to draw it. It's like it was that perfect. Like every once in a while, I see stuff, and I'm like, I'll look at everything. I'll count ceiling tiles. For the record, I technically have Asperger's that was reissued as autism, but I'm not. I don't know. It does change the way you look at things.
I've got a patch of Asperger's myself. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not that anymore. We're not Asperger's anymore.
No, we're not Asperger's anymore. They just arbitrarily decided to get rid of it, you know.
Yeah, and now we're all on a spectrum.
We're on a spectrum now, yeah. They like that spectrum thing. They call it rainbow thing, you know. Anyway.
Spectrum brings me cable. It's not who I am.
No, it's not. I got Charter Spectrum myself. Anyway.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
Well, it's like one of my favorite things to do is when somebody questions my book collection, I will basically say, go in there and pick out any book at random, and I will tell you the plot. I will tell you everything. I'll give you the salient points. And I've had people take me up on it, and son of a gun, but they don't understand that that's the way my brain works, right?
Right.
And I think most creatives are vast libraries of images and data, and we assemble it. And I think a lot of that's the way AI works a lot. You know, they say that AI will assemble from all these sources and creativity, and it will use that to assemble things. And
Yeah.
that's really a lot the way creatives work anyway.
Well, one of the things that's amazed me, and I understand is because people love hand art, but I'm waiting for a revolt from writers because I'm like, really, that's what you guys do. You contact your artist and you go, okay, I want a guy that looks like this, or you have photo references, whatever,
Right.
whatever you're referencing, and then the
Yeah.
artist has to create it. It's just it's he's playing the role of the of the AI because he's
Right.
not creating this out of
Yeah.
nothing. He is looking at past experience, past
Right.
references that he's worked is. So it's an
Mhm.
interesting thing. I think the thing that disturbs people is the artificial part. But like you and I were talking a little bit earlier, CG went through the same thing, and I
Right.
remember everybody hating CG and how bad it looked, and
Yeah.
I want physical effects.
Right.
Now we barely notice, and I'm sure AI is already in some of it and we don't know it. Yeah, I know it has been
Right.
on TV and radio, so
Yeah. Considering how hackneyed some of the plots and some of the writing that we've seen lately, I'm pretty sure Chat GTP is probably writing most of Hollywood. Uh, it's like that uh, Gunn had this lady writing 3 of his movies, and she has like 2 writing credits.
mhm.
And before that she was an actress. You can't tell me that Chat GTP isn't what's really writing, and he's just sticking her name on the credits
Yeah,
for
yeah.
whatever
Or
reason.
she could be giving it prompts, but the
Yeah.
problem is, and maybe this is something that's got to improve. I don't know if you've seen Supergirl. I felt like it was okay. And by that, I
Yeah.
don't mean good. I mean, it just stayed on this flat level. It didn't go too high, too
It
low.
was paint
It
by
wasn't even,
numbers. Yeah.
yeah. And there were little things that if I wanted to get picky, I could be offended by, or things that I could like, but it was all kind of like meh.
Meh.
And
Right.
like with Masters of the Universe, I felt like this. I
Yeah.
was like, oh, that was so cool. And then it was like
There was
down.
so many
Wow.
cross purposes in that movie. When I did my review, I was like, "This was a movie that was commissioned by people who love Masters of the Universe and gave it to people who are apathetic by Masters of the Universe, and let people who hate Masters of the Universe write it." And it just feels like it's base of apathy, dislike, and absolute love.
Yep.
And
Yep.
it was weird because you see sparkles like moments where it's like somebody absolutely loves Master of the Universe, but then
Yeah.
you see somebody making fun of it,
Yeah.
and then you see other that's just almost like completely lack of energy. Skeletor was worth the price of admission, I think.
Now, the battle between Skeletor and He-Man at the end,
Yeah.
if I was to say, gee, that might have been AI,
Right.
it would be that last fight. And it was because it was so good. I'm sure it was at least some CGI.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of stuff where I think you're going to see AI snuck in because the battles,
Right.
I'm sorry, I loved it. I don't care what people said. Those battles were hot. Skeletor,
Yeah.
Leto, or Jared Leto,
Jared
or
Leto.
whatever
Yeah.
his name is.
Mhm.
Amazing. Maybe it's because
Well,
we
the
couldn't see
writer
his
in me
face.
just
But
loved it when he tried to HR Skeletor, and Skeletor's like, "What are you doing? I'm evil.
yep,
What are you trying to
yep,
talk me out of this? I'm evil. What's wrong?
yep.
What don't you get about being evil? You know?" And I was like, "Hey, man,
Well,
I
and that's
love it."
kind of like the way they had all the mixed talents in there because
Right?
somebody got it and somebody
Yeah.
didn't, and you could kind of feel it. It's like, oh yeah, this is slow. Oh, why are they
Well,
doing that with that
right.
guy? No.
Well, I mean, they're making fun of the names like Fisto and things like that, and
I was about to say, how many Fisto jokes did we need? One might have been like
yeah,
whatever, but
right, right,
uh,
right, right.
yeah,
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, it was like a writer's room of made of apathy, hatred, and love, and
yeah.
it's like, and it's all like a base of that, and it was just such a,
It's a shame because it
yeah,
could have been one of those super fun. Yeah, it's a stupid movie, but it is so fun.
right,
Instead, it's like, Now we're talking about, a handful of scenes that were really great, and the rest of it's
Well,
oh
I
well.
remember like the last Starfighter. I brought this up recently, but the vision of that movie, you can tell it was one person from start to finish that came up with the world, it came up with the characters, came up with the plot, and it was such a distinctive point of view from start to finish, and they used some of that early CGI in it,
Hmm.
which is really dated. I'd like to see that updated. But what you get at the end of it is this cohesive vision of a movie with I call it white trash Star Wars,
Yeah.
because it's set in a trailer park, and
Yeah.
these were true trailer park people. I could tell, so whoever wrote it loved trailer park people, because it was such a community of the
They had the
kind of people
culture
you get to.
down. Yep.
Exactly. And so you're like, you got this. It's like this balancing act of this great intergalactic story, but then you got this little story of set in a trailer park of a kid that's trying to leave home, and he not only leaves home, but he leaves home, But the whole entire thing works because it's one coherent vision. But these days, you get such a collection of people that, because I guess the the writers guild or whatever forces so many writers into any project, to ever that, plus whatever criterion that this person has to be involved because of this character, or that
Yeah,
character
yeah. The
trait.
check boxes, all the check boxes.
Yeah. And so what you get is you get something like Master of the Universe that has moments of brilliance, moments of love, moments of apathy, and then moments of absolute dislike and disdain. And it's all in the same. And so, how in the world can you create that way? You just can't.
Yeah, or what you're creating is really compromised, and
Yeah.
I don't know, like, okay, so like there's Odyssey, which I still haven't seen, and I probably
Mm,
will when it finally hits, the streams, but
right.
like that's one of those combo movies where I just couldn't bring myself to go spend 12, 15,
Right.
20 bucks to go sit through. Yeah, it's done amazing. So maybe it's a lot better than I'm giving it credit for, but I'm like,
Right.
I still can't. I'll wait. I'll wait till it comes home.
Right. Right. Well,
I already feel sorry by Supergirl and He-Man. I'm not doing
yeah.
Odyssey. I did do
Well,
Spider-Man though. So,
well, well. I was told this, the reason why the parts of Spider-Man that you love is because Tom Holland, to come back, one of his requirements was that he had ability to rewrite the script, and so
yeah.
he brought a writer with him, and he's been watching all of these streams of people what they didn't like about Spider-Man, and so he tried to when he reached the part where he's like, okay, this isn't working. He brought this writer in and they rewrote it, but they rewrote it thinking of what the fans have said that they liked about the original.
Yeah.
And so people have talked about how disjointed that movie is, because there's moments where it's pure Spider-Man. It's the Spider-Man that everybody's been looking for, everybody's been hoping for. And that's the parts that Tom Holland had rewritten.
Yeah.
And then there's the parts that's like it's MCU stuff, and it's just like it's like, well, if that guy that Tom Holland brought in, what if he had written the whole thing?
Yeah. Well, you obviously, I don't know how you are about spoilers, so I won't say too much, but the villain in that movie surprised
I
me,
know,
and
I already know about that. So yeah,
yeah, and
go ahead.
and it disappointed me to the point where like it didn't ruin the movie. I still enjoyed it, but if
Yeah,
someone came out with a non-gene cut,
right.
I'm there. Let's go, man. That's an hour of
Yeah,
greatness. It's like,
right,
okay,
right, 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 right.
but they
Well,
could have used
used to
so many
used
other
to
characters.
yeah used to they would edit that stuff out. You know,
Yep.
it's like all those different cuts of Blade Runner, and it's like everybody's talking about how the first movie wasn't the ideal cut, and yet I've seen all the cuts, and that first movie was just the shortest one, it's the one that saw in theaters and had the overdub or the voiceover, it's still my favorite one
Right.
because there's no that the first movie, doesn't have the bloat. It doesn't have the pretentiousness. It's just like they made him cut it down until the bare bones, and so what you have is this pure story.
Yeah.
And these days, because of the big budgets and because of the bloated running times, they just let these people put in whatever the hell they want to, even if it
Fill
doesn't
the
fit the
time.
plot.
Yeah.
Exactly. You ever see the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen?
It's been a while, but I have,
Yeah,
yes.
that movie is one or two editorial cuts away from being a brilliant movie.
Yeah.
It's got the bones, it's got the characters, it's got the plot, but then it has this bloat in it that that if you remove that, you would have this great tight thriller with awesome characters. And I can see it in my head. If this one added away, that movie makes me sad every time I watch it because I'm like, if you cut this, cut this, cut this, cut this, it's you remember
Way better.
yeah, right. Rambo 1.
Oh
The
yeah.
first, yeah. You know the story, right? Stallone.
Oh yeah. Yep.
He didn't want the movie to be released. He tried to buy the print.
Really?
Yes,
I didn't know that.
because the first cut of it, he just absolutely thought it was going to destroy his career. And so they're like, "Well, we're not going to let you buy it." And he's like, "Okay, at least let me have editorial cut." Because he just came off of Rocky, and so they're like, "Okay, all right, well," and he's like, "Cut my dialogue almost completely out of it, except for the beginning dialogue and the dialogue with Troutman, and let everything said about Rambo be from the other actors, and not from my own mouth." And that's the movie we got.
Yeah.
And what that did was it made Rambo a force, a primeval force. It made him like a legend, like a legendary creature, and not a human. Because every time they're like, I don't know where the hell did that guy come from? Oh my God, and Troutman telling him is like, if he wants you dead, you'd be dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
The
then that
mystery is
moment,
more than knowing,
exactly, and it
I
made
always
the
felt like
movie
Wolverine
brilliant.
used to be a better character for that same reason when we weren't sure. We knew about
Right,
Weapon X, but what else do we really know about Logan? Not much,
right.
Now they've got it so mapped out in cross-dimensional,
Yeah.
multiversy. Okay,
Oh, I
Wolverine's well
hated I
known now.
hated it when I got the backstory on Wolverine. I
Yeah.
hated it. It
Yep.
diminished him so much. It was so much better than we found out. Like these little clips. It's like, how old is this dude anyway?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we never really quite knew. It's like him and Sabretooth are fighting, slugging it out in the 50s. It's like, holy shit, how old are those guys? That was so cool. And sometimes what you don't know is you can fill in the blanks. You can speculate. It makes it more interesting.
That's for
And
sure.
so, I mean, with Peter, he's kind of a. Yeah, I've got a couple Cyclopeans, and Peter is such a. Uh, what you see is what you get with Peter. He doesn't have any gall in him. He is so pure of a being. And
He
so
was. He was.
how do you keep him that way though?
Well, so I'll because I'm here live, I'll give you a little bit of like future stuff on him. He is going to become very aggravated, very disgruntled. There are events that really bend him the wrong way. Sometimes simple things like he spoke to a Christian pastor who told him, "Well, Jesus didn't die for you. You're an alien." Breaks his heart. He's got the fact that he's a widower, even though he's not. And so people are like, it never happened, but yet to him it really did happen.
Yeah.
And the resentment with the government because he doesn't want to be just a superpowered assassin. He wants to actually do good. But he's headed for emotional breakdown.
Mm.
And he's not going to go villain, but he is going to go anti-hero.
Right.
And he's going to go through a transition, for lack of a better word, into a more mature character, with the
Mm-hmm.
idea of taking the series not to like a pure teen level, but to something where it's not so. I don't know. It almost felt candy striped at times coming up through the series, and
Maybe a little 60s Batman.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know.
exactly. Yeah, well, there was actually a scene, I think, in issue 2, it might be in 1, where he jumps down a pole that was literally set up just like Batman, where
Innocence appears
Captain
part
Aura
of his
makes,
appeal.
yeah,
You've been warned. You've been warned.
yeah. Oh, I've been, you know what? I was at a convention last weekend, and we got
Mm-hmm.
approached by a longtime fan that I wasn't aware,
Ah, cool.
and I was telling him a little bit about what's coming up. He was like, "Oh, well, he defended Peter's character, his Boy
Yeah.
Scoutness," and he was like, I was like, interesting.
Yeah.
So there's definitely something to be said, but I feel like he has to progress a little bit because he's still in
Mm-hmm.
the sheltered mind of uh
Right.
that we all are in our youth, when we
Yeah.
come up. I know I was going to save the world. I was going to be a millionaire by 30, had it
Yep.
all planned. I was going to be a rock star, and all that money was going to go to save the world.
Mm-hmm.
And life happens. I don't know. Cumberland Farms didn't pay as much as Rockstar.
Yep.
Hey,
There you go. There you go.
yep.
Well, you have to make adjustments. So this is HeroShack.com. This is
Yes.
your website. So so it looks like you have a lot of stuff on here. A lot of your creative output. A lot of your future projects. Um,
Right, right.
so I agree, but Peter wants more of his life than just working for the government. Yep, I got you. I got you.
Working for the man.
Working. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully he doesn't get to take his job and shove it. That.
So actually, there you're yeah, really. There you're looking at Peter in his
Mhm.
government issued superhero costume, which
Cool. Yeah.
it may
That.
resemble, the generic super kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
But it was pure propaganda. They wanted him to look the part. Um
The nice ankles on the bull.
yeah, we should. Um
Right.
but that is a classic. My wife has actually made stuffies based on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is more based on the Cyclopian that's in the later issues,
All
with the
right.
twin
Right.
and stuff. But yeah, that was let's make our cute mascot with one eye, and
Mm-hmm.
it has been a blast. But he's like he doesn't really like being in a cape. He doesn't like being flashy.
Right.
He's
Right.
bashful in many ways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's part of his. It's definitely. Plushies, not stuffies. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
plushies.
There you go. All right.
Important distinction.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, you gotta make the happy wife happy life, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Anyway.
It's true.
All right. So this is the Great Cyclopian. The campaign here.
We are halfway home.
Halfway home. Yeah. Cool. So you got a few art things here I wanted to point out when I was looking earlier. So you out with the nightmare.
That's true. Yes.
Yep. So
And that is the nightmare in the yellow glow.
right.
At that point, he's an astral projection. He does find a way to take physical embodiment, but I want to save that for the readers when they read the book.
Right. Well, I noticed that you have some kind of like some Kiss-looking people down here.
Well, that man's name is Retro, and he's all
Retro.
about he's all about the 20th century. So there is some inspiration from rock bands, and if you look carefully, I don't know if you can see it in this artwork. It's not in the panel. Earlier in the book, when he's fighting without the big robot, he actually has certain iconic things from the 80s which if I say
Ah,
I'd probably break the copyright thing, but they're
right, right.
parody. They're super cool when you realize what they are. But he
Right.
uses them as melee weapons, even though they're huge
Oh,
vehicles in real life. So,
gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah.
well, not real life. That's kind of weird. In cartoon
Hmm.
life, yeah, he's an
So,
ode to the 20th century,
yeah, so this is his wife in his memory.
right? And
Maybe not reality, right?
right, the nightmare right there is a pretty good picture of him, except it's
Hmm.
green colored. But
Yeah.
he doesn't have hair. He has hands coming out of his head that take
Right.
different shapes as he's talking to
Yeah.
reflect different, you know, like if he wants to look back,
Oh,
well, all the hands go flat, and you
right.
know,
Well,
um,
this is pretty. This is just some really creative, clever, interesting stuff. You have a very distinctive world, very distinctive point of view. Um,
it it is interesting, and it's kind of nice because my wife keeps it kind of
hmm.
polished. Um,
Yeah.
I have more grit than I do, smoothness. But she comes along and I don't know, she sprays shellac on me, and then I
Yeah.
kind of get stuck, and then she fixes everything, and then I get unstuck, and we go.
Yeah. I think that's all part of being married. I guess. I'm told. Anyway.
But
Let's say
with my Asperger's though, she is
no
awesome
kids.
because she can deal with me. You know what I mean? Like a
Hmm.
real editor would probably rip my head off because I can be stupid and say dumb things, and she knows how to
Right.
roll with all of it. You know?
Well, I have I guess all writers have a love-hate relationship with their editors, so I can imagine being married to your editor would definitely have some pitfalls and some,
Well, no, no, it becomes a love.
love.
The
Okay, okay.
the few occasions we've had problems, I've fired her, which we both laugh at as soon as I do it. You're fired, and then we both
Yeah,
laugh, and
right.
she's like, "You can't fire me, you
You
dumb."
can't. Yeah,
Okay,
it's like
yeah.
what you can't fire me. What do you want for dinner? You know. Oh well.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
She
there
wins
you go.
every time. Yeah, you got me, Dave.
You gotta eat. You gotta eat, bitch.
Yeah,
You know. Anyway.
yep.
Well, one of the really cool things that I like about a somebody who does their world building and does it right is the fact that every when I go to promote my stuff, I think of it as an off ramp. Like you're going down the interstate, and every city has an off ramp, and so they advertise it at the road. This is the off ramp, right? And then if you go off the off ramp, you wind up in this very distinctive place, a different place. And when you build a world right, when people go down that off ramp, or when whatever your promotion or whatever it is, letting people know this exists, they'll see the sign by the road. You're like, hey, this way to Tamlovich land or whatever. You know, uh, and they'll come in, and suddenly there's Peter, the big one-eyed guy, and on this incredible array of characters and villains, and uh, and people know that if they want to, uh, if they'll enjoy living there for a little while, and so next time you're like, well, here's another chapter, they're like, oh yeah, I can go back, I can
Let's
take
check
the
it out. Yeah.
yeah, they know that exit, they know where the exit is.
Yep. Yep.
And if you build your world properly, then there are they'll find favorite places to visit, they'll find
Yep.
favorite um like characters. They'll find it'll feel like old friends, or some people will like a certain villain because they like their style or whatever. And
Yep.
and it's like almost it becomes a relationship uh with and you're 11 comics in. Very few people outside the mainstream develop that long of continuity, and so my hat's off to you. You know that uh, it's a really cool, fun thing to encounter yet another world that I can visit. You know,
Yeah.
um, one thing that's going on right now is the crisis on independent Earths. I don't know if you've heard about this, but John's
Actually, do you know what
yeah.
I did tonight? Do you even know what I
What'd you do?
did?
What'd you do?
So John posted on X, we're at
Yeah.
41. Can we get to 50?
Uh
And
huh.
I finally said, all right. So I emailed him like
Yeah.
10 minutes before I came on here saying, here's my my
Hmm.
stuff. If I can, I'd love to be part of it.
Yeah.
I think what is it, draw 3 or 5 pages
Yeah. It's
of
3 to
his
5
world
pages.
impacting.
Yeah.
It's
Hmm.
something in his world that impacts your world, but you don't like
Right.
directly interact it. You kind of see something or something
Yeah.
happens to make, yeah. I have to
Well.
go back and watch the stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Well. It's basically the universe is breaking down, and each individual world that will that breaking down of reality will show itself in a different way, and he wants that way to be like very unique to your world. And then at some point, they will you will figure out that there's something going on that we need to be involved in if we want to save our world. And so, but he doesn't want it to be someone telling you this. He doesn't want it to be like a portal, opening and you step through. He wants it to be something distinctive to your world. And that's been really hard for people to kind of figure out. But, you know, it, I had already had it in. I have a universe hopping entity already, and so I kind of cheated a little bit. But he pre-existed, so I just thought, ooh, I already got this. Let's say pitfalls is a good word. It fires me regularly. Familiarity makes people feel comfy and want to hang around. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but what the most interesting thing about this is that it's supposed to be a promotional tool, and
Yeah.
what he's hoping is to create this feeling of community that we are all rooting for each other. We're all promoting each other. We're all like enjoying each other's worlds, so like the visit to each other's worlds, and because we're all on an island in independent comics. You're
Oh yeah, I
nobody.
understand. Yeah. Go to a
Yeah.
convention where you don't know anybody. You'll see. It's like,
Right.
wow, my
Right.
table is my island.
Well, but the thing about conventions is there's something that you don't really understand until you go to a convention, and everybody's there because of love.
Oh yeah.
Everybody's there because of affection. Everybody's there not because of what divides us, but for what unites us. And
Yeah.
when you
Yeah.
feel that moment where the whole environment's built around what we enjoy, what we love, what we collect, or what we pursue, um, it's a positivity there that we just don't get in the ordinary rest of the world.
Yeah.
We go out in the rat race, and it's all about, well, I don't like you, and you don't like me, or I don't like this point of view. Um, like Dolly Parton, that just
Yeah.
passed away. It's really pissed me off today. The people that were trying to make her divisive, and it really angered me because she spent her whole entire life trying to entertain everybody.
Yeah.
That was her philosophy. She's like, I'm a dumb blonde. People don't care what I think about anything. And they kept trying to tie her down. They kept trying to nail her down. They kept trying to figure. They thought she's some dumb blonde. They didn't
Yeah.
understand that she's one of the only two people that's ever, told Colonel or Elvis no. And she built an empire. She has her own freaking amusement park. This is
Yeah.
not a dumb blonde. She may say she's a dumb blonde, but she's not.
Yeah.
But she spent so much time trying to unite the world and to make beauty in the world and to spread joy in the world. And now that she's passed away, you've got hip hop artists that are mourning her. You've got metal artists that are mourning her. I saw Rob Halford break into tears because he did this project with her, and he was so in awe of her. Rob Halford from Judas Priest,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
she circumvent. She went out across all ages. She went across all barriers and appealed to everybody because she didn't divide anybody. She was about love. She was about what we enjoy. And that's what I really, anytime I see somebody trying to engender that in the world, like Cyclopian, I believe, I got to take my hat off because you're lighting a candle in a very dark place.
Right. Well,
And
it's funny because
go ahead.
today I saw someone. Oh God, I hated when they did this too. She can't be a Christian because she did Stairway to Heaven, and they were playing she was doing the cover of Stairway to Heaven. And I'm like,
Right.
that is such an ignorant thing to like. Even if it is Satan's song, which I have extreme doubts about,
Yeah.
she's not singing it for Satan. She's not about Satan. There's nothing satanic about her. And it's a pretty song. What the
Yeah,
hell are
it's a
you
very pretty song.
complaining about?
Right.
And
Right.
that was the one thing I saw about her today that really got me edgy. I was like,
Yeah.
God knows I love Jesus. Okay. But when Christians get on their high horse, it's like,
Yeah.
somebody get me a baseball bat. I'm taking some
I'm
knees.
sorry, but you're just obnoxious as the blue hair that's trying to say that
Yeah.
she didn't support Gaza, so she's evil.
Boy, that
So
has
so
become a divisive thing that I don't understand. I know you and I are similar age.
yeah,
I never grew up hating Israel. And I'm like,
no.
how did we get here? What the? And I know how they got there, but I still think they're kind of a little crazy. But
Well,
oh well.
I'm thinking in the world of Bruce Springsteen's "Be a Dolly,"
Yeah. Yeah.
in a world of Mark Ruffalo's "Be a Dolly."
Yeah.
I mean,
It
in
can't
the
hurt,
world,
right?
yeah, in a world of evidently Jelly Roll, "Be a Dolly." Okay,
Oh, I heard
you
about
know.
that too. That must have been pretty intense. Because I heard about it. I don't hear nothing about Jelly Roll, but I heard something. Yeah. I was like,
Well,
oh
I mean,
my.
the idea that you want to say to possibly half of the people that are going to be consuming your stuff that I don't want your company. I mean, look how that worked out for Marvel. If you don't like our
Yeah.
politics, don't buy our comics.
I
What
was about to
happened?
say, we know how that works. Yeah. It's shut them down.
Exactly.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
and
it's
it
that
just
woke
does not
versus
help.
anti-woke thing. So they will
Right,
try
right,
that
right, right.
stuff, and then it's gonna it backfires. And because America's still not as woke as they want it to be.
No.
I'm sure there's 20-30%, but
Mm-mm.
deep down, most people are still common sense. And yeah.
Well,
By the
I
way,
think
can
what
I
we've
just say
seen.
hi to
Go ahead.
Lorenzo? I guess I had a
Yeah.
Lorenzo. He's the Puerto Rican. He's
Yeah. Hey, man.
he's one of the guys I know well, but he keeps popping up. I can't read you guys is what you're saying because I have bad
Right.
eyes, but I
Yeah.
keep seeing his little head pop up, and I'm like, I gotta say hi to him, man.
All right. Unfortunately, it's the world we live in now, gentlemen. Yeah. Yeah. Well, the thing about it is we don't have to stay here. And
Well, is it? Do you get that feeling about your comics? Because
mhm,
Cyclopian's next chapter is actually part of a new project, and my
yeah.
idea is to try to bring some sort of patriotic heroism back to America because there's just not enough out there. Captain America is kind of like a wet noodle now. Like I don't
Mhm.
even know who is Captain America. Is he for America? Is he Hydra? Like what have they done to him
Well,
now?
well, this is my candle in the dark.
You should talk about that. Like, so you should tell the people in the chat what that's called
Yeah.
because I can't remember the name of the book to save my life.
It's community service. And
Thank you. Thank you.
that's my lead
That's not the whole
character,
name though.
Colonel. Yep.
That's not
Yeah.
the whole name, is it?
It's community service.
Wasn't there a subtitle to
Yeah.
it?
Preambles. That's the first book. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking of. Yes.
It's preambles, articles, and what's the last one? It's three
That's
parts
why
of
I
the
couldn't
It's
remember.
3 parts of the Constitution. So,
But that's why I couldn't remember because I knew there was more,
yeah,
and I'm like, oh, what is it? Yes.
right. Uh, hey man, good to see you. But Ironside's basically, I got him. He came out of seeing Captain America say "Hell Hydra,"
Yeah.
and it bothered me so bad I left work when I saw the article that they had made him say "Hell Hydra," and because it broke my heart. I mean, at that moment, Captain America movies were riding high. People were wearing the Captain America shirt. He had never been bigger. And these
Yeah.
jackasses made him say Hell Hydra, something that would never happen, ever. And then they try
Yeah.
to say, "Oh, it's the Kubrick, the say cosmic cube that caused like a split off Captain America." I mean, they did their best but there's just things that you don't do, and
Well,
so
when something hits that hard, even if they play, oh, that's all a mistake, it's
yeah,
still hit that hard. It's like,
yeah,
you still
you
did
can't
it.
unring that bell, right?
Yeah.
But I suddenly saw in my head, I had a character that had a crystalline arm like that, and I was never quite sure, he just wouldn't come into focus. But after I saw Hell Hydra, and I was at home, and I started drawing my character with the glass arm, and suddenly I gave him stars, the Betsy
Yeah.
Ross flag, and suddenly it was like it came into, and suddenly the name Ironsides came to me, Colonel Ironsides. He's and out of that, the whole entire world kind of sprang,
Right.
because this guy is like dates all the way back to the founding of the country. He was a bond slave from Ireland who was bought by a man who was a printer in the New World to make him a print monkey, basically, and run his errands. And he was printing pamphlets for the Thomas Paine's pamphlets. He was printing them, and then the British drug him out of his house and beat him to death in front of this guy. And in his dying breath, he bequeathed his, basically freed him and made him a U.S. citizen by giving him all of his earthly belongings, and his property. And so from that, he joins the revolution and later acquires powers and comes in functionally immortal. He's been
Right.
killed 9 times, but he's always come back. But all this to say, he's like the very embodiment of the founding fathers through line through our American history. And at some point, he gets ambushed by this ray that turns his arm to glass in his eye, but it's an alien glass. It's but he gets retired for 50 years. He starts aging because of this foreign substance in his body, and while he's aging, he watches the whole. They replace him with his federal agency, and he has to watch as America loses its way. And my book is when he comes out of retirement and decides that enough is enough, and so that's basically the starting point. But there you go.
Sorry
That's
about
Cat.
that. Yeah.
No
Yeah.
problem. Cat, you got to do what cat's got to do. What cat's got to do.
She's down there. She's going to start clawing me if I don't pick her up.
Gotcha,
All right.
gotcha. Well, but anyway, so the Great Cyclopian 11 is out right now on FMC.
That's right.
Yeah. I believe it's already ready for print. So as soon as
we're getting the press proof this week,
okay,
and as long as that meets our approval, it'll be on press by the end of the week. Like as soon as we
Awesome.
get in, we do the check, and
Right.
that's the way we've done all our campaigns. We've done, I want to say, at least 7 or 8 different books on FMC
Ah,
exclusively.
cool.
My favorite crowdfunding comic site in the world. I know
Awesome.
that Kickstarter and IGG supposedly have better population or whatever traffic,
Right.
but they
Right.
don't have the creators. They don't have it's not the same. This
No.
feels like a convention. If you want to go see a bunch of books that are totally awesome yet totally unique,
Yeah.
check out FMC. It's the focus. It's like going to a specialty shop versus Walmart's newsstand.
Right. Right. We're the comic shop of the crowdfunders. Um,
Absolutely. Yeah.
I used to call us the best little comic book shop on the net. And
It does have that feel though. You go to FMC, you're not going to see somebody's heater and humidifier
right.
or somebody's new computer. It's
Yep.
all comics. Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about somebody's smut showing up on your feed either.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a lot of that on Kickstarter. I mean, I browsed on Kickstarter the other day and I'm like, oh, there's some boobs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. They're flashing the bells. Here we go.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, gotta get the Gooner people to buy your stuff. We got a couple more comments here. Anyway, so I like to figure down with that. Oh, thank you, appreciate it. Preamble, Articles of Confederation, Bill of Rights, and Amendments. Yeah, yeah. It's preambles, articles, and I can't remember what the last one. That's the other one is. But anyway, it's out my mind.
I'm with you, bro.
Amendments. Yeah, amendments
There you
is the
go.
third one. Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yeah, it was right there. He had it right. But anyway, so that's part of my universe. But yeah, so all this is coming. You've got a catch up tier.
Yeah.
That's 11 comics. For 110
At a discounted price. Yeah. Like if you went to
yeah.
our store, is it 110? I don't know what it is, but I think at our store it would
on
cost you a
FMC
little
it's
more.
110. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Right.
But you also get like the shipping is a little less because they're going together. If you
Right.
buy them separately, it ends up costing you more. You're more than welcome to jump in, guys. I'll never tell you no. I am a terrible salesperson. I'm the creator.
Mm.
So, if I'm starting to wane there, that's why. I'm not good at pushing my product, but it is
No
great.
problem. Well, you
Okay.
did great tonight. You did great tonight. I'm
Thank you.
sure Diana would tell you that. You also have Hero Shack, your channel, your YouTube channel. When do you do
Yep.
your shows?
I do them every
Wednesday
Wednesday.
night, some night, right?
Yeah. Wednesday night, 8:30, I start running any promos. By the way, if you've got any promos you want to run, let me know. Because
Okay.
I like to include other creators' promos. I think it helps my promos stand out
Yeah.
when it's not the only one. It's good to have
Right.
the flavor.
There you go. There
And
you go.
you'll find all sorts of stuff. Just
Mhm.
come check it out. At 9:00 we go live. That's
Mhm.
when people can hear Diana, who's much more sane than I am and a lot more fun. But no, I'm teasing. She's awesome though.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
so that's when we do our show. And our
Yeah.
YouTube has all our promo stuff and cartoons and all that jazz.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
It's always a fun time. I believe you accept guests on, so if anybody wants to promote anything, you guys
Yeah.
are available for that too.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I work with all sorts of indie creators. There are some guys that I still haven't gotten them on, but they're very small, and I think
Right.
they just need to taste a little bit of come on up. But they're making books, so I'm like,
Right.
you're halfway there, bro. You just got to get on the air.
There are some books. There are some books in our space, FMC in particular, that I will put up against anybody
Mm-hmm.
on
Yep.
this planet. I'll put them up against some of the classics, some of the people that you talk about in hushed tones. Shadowpunk, that first book I would put up against Eisner.
Right.
And I will tell anybody that. I don't know what Matthew's doing these days. He's kind of like not talking to me anymore, but that's fine. But incredible book. But,
Right.
so we're not by moving away from the mainstream, we're not diminishing ourselves in any way, shape, or form. So check out what's on FMC right now.
Yep.
The Graham Nolan colored Chinook. If you guys don't back that, it's not going to happen. That's a good one. Check out
Now he
the
released that as a black and white, and now it's
yeah.
now it's color, which is actually, if you don't like black and white, it's a great thing because some
Well,
people won't buy
I
a
think
black
he
and white.
had red. I think he did have one.
He had
black,
some
white,
color
and
in it.
red. Yeah. Yeah, I
Gotcha.
think the blood. I think he did have the blood at one point.
That's
But
always a nice
I
touch.
remember it. It might be in my head, but I remember some blood. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
there was some blood. But anyway, but that's available. You've got a lot of cool stuff going on. The triplets, Nexus, the triplets. Yeah, it just went live. That's a cool one. Next Thursday, Immortal Rising. He is going to launch September the 1st, but he is coming on the 3rd next week.
When
But
you say
thank
coming, you mean on this show, right?
on the show, the FMC
Awesome.
Arena.
All right. All right.
Yep.
Making sure I know what we're talking about.
Yep. Sorry.
That's okay.
I probably
That's
should
okay.
say he is promoting on this show. That's probably a better adjective there. Anyway.
It's all good. I'm a lost soul, you know. I'm
no,
like,
no,
what?
no, it's okay. That's okay. We're all Gen X here. Anyway. All right. Well, thank you for coming on, Chris.
Thank you, sir.
Just anybody wants to promote FMC runs on FMC Arena is every Thursday night at 6. I do run some Tuesday night shows if somebody needs it, so that's available. But anyway, check out Chris, check out HeroShack.com, and we will see you all next time. Waves. There you go.
All right, brother.
Bye, everybody.